So welcome to our first vlog. It's quite a spontaneous one actually. We are heading on a last minute trip to Germany, of course to the Nurburgring. We're doing it because earlier on in the year we went with the club and we had some problems with the car where basically the hub nut was rounded onto the drive shaft with a previous owner. And what had happened was we had to have a new drive shaft fitted whilst we were there, and it was also a very costly repair, so we didn't do any further laps in the car. So we're heading back and we're actually going to see if we can do it basically in a lot less time, whereas before we went for I think 3 nights and made a bit of a longer trip out of it. We're going to see if we can literally drive through the night down into Belgium from leaving home now at what is 6 o'clock UK time, and then try and get some sleep in the car and a little bit on the ferry as well tonight, and then basically drive tomorrow at the ring on Saturday, stay over Saturday night, get some shut-eye, do some laps Sunday morning and come home. So stay tuned for our first vlog, and we're going to take you to the Nürburgring with us and give you some insights of costs, how you can do it, how much time it takes to get places, and obviously some great footage of other cars and our own M3 throughout the whole video.
More like the lyrics and the sort of melodies, the remix stuff that I haven't really done before, so that's good.
So we've made it down to Dover at the ferry terminal, and what a difference it was leaving that a little bit later. Just flew down the A303, M25, whatever it is, M20, M25, and it just made a massive difference to our journey. We flew down in about 3.5 hours, and that was actually with a stop at Cobham Services to get some food. So we're here now, it's about 10:30, all checked in, just waiting for the ferry. So we're gonna go over to the terminal, sit down, grab a drink, maybe have a coffee, and wait it out until the ferry turns up at 5 to midnight. Also, I forgot to mention that I recently had the Yellow Speed Racing 6-pot big brake kit fitted to the front of the M3. As many of you are aware, the brakes on the 92 M3 as standard are absolutely rubbish, so this should make a massive difference going forward. At the minute we've still got standard brakes on the back, which we're going to be upgrading to the F80 rear calipers, but yeah, looking forward to see what the Yellow Speed 6-pots do with all braided lines, new fluid, done by the team down at Ventrax Motorsport. So we've made it down into Germany. It's been a pretty long night to say the least. Obviously our ferry was at midnight. We docked at about 2:40, I believe it was, local time. Drove about 4 hours down into onto the German border, pulled into a lay-by, had about an hour's sleep. We obviously had some sleep on the ferry as well, which was much needed. Now we are on the autobahn. We've had a couple blasts down the autobahn, hit about 160, 165, which is more than enough. If you've never driven that fast, the steering in the car and the whole feel of it just gets very, very weird. It almost goes really light and heavy at the same time. So 160 mile an hour, that's enough for us. But yeah, we're about 40 minutes away from the ring now, and the scenery is getting really, really beautiful as we go down into the Eifel region. So we'll show you some footage of that.
Tumbling straight off the lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a blunt in it. Lil' mama a thot, and she got ass, then she gon' fuck up a bag. Pull up to the spot, living too fast, dropping it up in the stash. In Italy, got too far.
so high.
Well, I think it's time for you to have your right back again.
So after our 9-hour trip in total, 5 hours the other side of the crossing, we have arrived at our destination of the Nurburgring. As you arrive, you're greeted with the Ring Boulevard and the iconic Nurburgring sign and info centre where everybody gets their photos. So take a look at that. We can already see a bunch of M cars in the car park on the right. The esports bar, Bitburger restaurant. Here is the info centre. This place is just it's just fantastic. It really is petrol head heaven, and every time you come here, you get the chills. It's amazing. I mean, it's our third time here now, and I know people come all the time, but it's still just fantastic every time you come here. The vibes and the atmosphere and the scenery around the place is second to none. So what we're going to do now is head to the fuel station, fill up the car again, and then we will go to Devil's Diner, which is where you enter the track for TF laps. We'll show you some of the cars which you can expect to see here at the ring. So we'll cut straight to that and enjoy. Day 2 over at the Nürburgring. Yesterday we had a fairly successful day out on the track. We did 4 laps. We had a bit of vibration coming from the rear brakes on the M3. As we know, they are still standard, and the pads that are in it, we don't actually know what's in it, but they are, well, they're crap, so to speak. They're basically blocking up all the air holes on the disc as well, so they were getting very, very hot, overheating, and we were getting a little bit of brake fade from the back, we think, and a bit of vibration as well. But overall, it was still a fantastic day. The new brakes on the front are amazing. They are just the standard pads that Yellow Speed supply, and they just needed some really sort of heavy bedding in, so to speak. The first lap, they're a little bit spongy, but as the day went on, they got increasingly better, which was good. Today we've actually got to head home at about 11 o'clock to get the ferry. So we're just going to head up to Sabine Schmidt's Curve, do some filming of the tourist laps this morning, and then we will be on our way home. But last night we stayed in a hotel called Hotel Am Brünnchen, which was really, really nice. It was really cheap as well, and breakfast was included, which is really good around here, because a lot of the places we've stayed before, you have to pay like 18 euros for breakfast, which is it's fairly expensive for what you get, we think. So yeah, for what we paid for the room, which was 70 euros for the night, which included breakfast, was really, really nice, to be fair, and it was a really nice place to stay. So we'll definitely be coming back to that hotel. So now we're going to walk up to the corner and we're going to film some cars to show you. Now it's really hard to see through the glass, but the CPL filter is doing a bit of justice. A lovely Voodoo Blue M3 Touring in the BMW M Power Tribune stand. There's a convertible M4 and also the new hybrid BMW M5, which is quite hard to see, but very cool nonetheless. So we're down at the Info Centre underground car park at the Nürburgring. You can actually park here free of charge up to an hour, and then it is £1.50 per hour once you go over that. Here you can do some incredible car spotting. A lot of the ring taxis are actually stored here, which we'll go around and show you now, as well as a lot of public cars which come and park in here just to spectate. So we've got the lovely M5 ring taxi CS there. GT4 rent-a-car, so you can rent these as well to take around the ring as opposed to taking your own car. Some lovely Caymans, as well as the GT4s over there that we missed. As well, the holy track car of the year. GT3 RS 992 ring taxi. A couple of our members actually went out in one of these earlier on in June when we come with the group. Really cool, incredible cars, and seeing these out on track and even getting overtaken by them is just really cool in itself. So the cost breakdown for our trip was as followed. The ferry was £99 there and back, which we got on a last minute deal. We do normally take the Eurotunnel, which is a little bit more expensive, but it is quicker and more convenient. The hotel, it was also a little bit more expensive than what I initially said in the video. It was £90, including breakfast. The fuel in a V8 4-litre M3 was £350 there and back. Now I actually thought that was going to be a little bit more, so overall I'm actually quite happy with that. The laps on the track, we had a lap in credit from the last time that we went. So we paid for 3 laps basically, which cost €35 per lap, which equivalates to around £30. So 30, 60, £90 in laps for 3 laps, which we paid for. And food and drink, we actually took quite a bit of food and drink over with us in our luggage, and we did go out for one meal on the Saturday night at a lovely Italian restaurant in Adenau called 27 Vitesse, which cost us €47. Now obviously there was a couple other little costs on there, just getting drinks and stuff whilst we were out during the day, but I haven't added those in because it was only really sort of a small amount of spending money. But all in all, it was £620. Now, I don't think that's too bad, considering a track day over here can be sort of, £350 plus if you do like a full day at Donington, etc., etc. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it cost us. Now, I wouldn't do how we did it again, if that makes sense. I wouldn't drive down through the night. I probably would get a hotel at Folkestone and then get up early and drive down early Saturday morning or something along those lines. Maybe get a hotel a little bit further into Belgium, so you can get a good few hours sleep as opposed to sleeping in the car, which wasn't ideal in a fixed position Recaro pole position. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the vlog, guys. There was a couple of things we had issues with. We had a couple of issues with SD cards and the camera, so we didn't get as much footage as we really wanted to. But I hope this has put sort of some perspective onto a trip to the Nürburgring, and you enjoyed the video.